Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Thank you for joining me once again. Ryan here, Slot Carpool again. I have a very special video I've been waiting to do for quite some time. Today is the day we are going to have our first championship showdown on the channel, and it's going to be based around the vintage Trans Am series, one of my favorite racing series of all time. So I have a really cool field of cars to show you all today. I can't wait. But before we get into that, I want to explain that all of these cars were either original Trans Am racers or have been bought via new owners and restored and are doing track days or events still, or could have met the criteria to be a Trans Am racer at the time. So I tried to make it as authentic as possible, and we have a pretty cool field of cars, like I said, just waiting to hit the track. So they're all brand new in the box. I want to put that out there. None of them have been run yet or unsealed from the package. And we're going to run all of these analog because one of the older Scalextric cars that I have isn't DPR ready, so it wouldn't make sense to do all the rest digital and then that one not. So we're going to make the playing field as level as possible, and we're going to run all of these cars analog. So without further ado, I know you guys are probably waiting to see all of the cars. Let's get into that. Let's see the field of competitors today and show you around each of them for a minute here before we get into the racing.
Uptown got its hustlers, the Bowery got its bums. 42nd Street got Big Jim, a walker, he a bull shooting son of a gun. Yeah, he big and dumb as a man can come, but he's stronger than a country horse. And when the bad folks all get together at night, you know they all call Big Jim Ball just because. And they say you don't tug on Superman's cape, you don't spit into the wind, you don't pull a mask off an old Lone Ranger, and you don't mess around with Jim. I don't do that. Well, out of South Alabama come a country boy. He said, I'm looking for a man named Jim. I am a bull shooting boy, my name is Willie McCoy, but down at home they call me Slim. Yeah, I'm looking for the king of 42nd Street. He drive on a drop-top Cadillac. Last week he took all my money, and it may sound funny, but I come to get my money back. And everybody say, Jack, don't you know that you don't tug on Superman's cape, you don't spit into the wind, you don't pull the mask off an old Lone Ranger, and you don't mess around with Jim. Well, a hush fell over the pool room, and Jimmy come popping in off the street. And when the cutting was done, the only part that wasn't bloody was the soles of the big man's feet. Yeah, he was cutting about 100 places, and he was shot in a couple more. And you better believe I sung a different kind of story when a Big Jim hit the floor. Yeah, they saying you don't tug on Superman's cape, you don't spit it into the wind, you don't pull the mask off an old Lone Ranger, and you don't mess around with Slim. Yeah, Big Jim got his hat. Find out where it's at. It's not hustling people strange to you, even if you do got a two-piece custom-made pool cue. Yeah, you don't tug on Superman's cape, you don't spit it into the wind, you don't pull the mask off an old Lone Ranger, and you don't mess around with Slim.
So now that we got to see all of the cars that will be competing in today's event, I thought I would make it a bit more interesting and break down some of the rules, regulations, and kind of what I had in mind for this little series. So in true motorsport fashion, we're going to have a driver's championship, but also as true as we can be to the Trans Am series, I wanted to do a driver's championship as well. So I decided to split these cars up into 5 teams of 2. As you can see, each teammate is stacked on top of one another, and I know it has formed a few unlikely alliances. But in this scenario, 10 cars was kind of the limit, the even number I was looking for. I don't want to get into bringing any more into the mix and extending this video to be too long, but I think these 10 cars really represent the manufacturers and the cars of that era very well. And like I said, I know a few of these were not actual Trans Am cars, but they would have or could have fit the bill rather. So we have a great selection of cars here. I think it will be quite fun to see how they all run. So what's going to happen is we're going to have a point system. First place is going to award 10 points, second place 8 points, third place 6, fourth place 4, fifth place 2 points, and anything after fifth place will be awarded no points. So each car will have 2 attempts to produce points. So we're going to do one magless lap and one lap with magnets in it. And I think the magless lap is going to be a lot of fun. It's going to add the variables and dynamics in true motorsport into the mix, especially with this field of cars. You have wet weather, damp spots on the track. The tire technology just wasn't there back then, or the brake technology. The brake fade was a real thing. All of the above. I think these cars relied mostly on underdeveloped or very minimal aero, and of course it was all suspension geometry, setup, etc. So I think it will add the realism into this little event, as well as having a very fast lap and seeing what the cars are capable of with magnets in them. So each car will have 2 attempts to produce points for itself, and each team will have, of course, 4 attempts to build points within the team for 2 cars each. So let's see how it works out. I'm very curious. I'm excited to do this. And of course, we have an unlikely alliance here. Like I said, the Mighty Mopar, which is just a fabulous looking CUDA there. I love this car. And this 69 Camaro, just this color on this is beautiful. I love that color. I think it's gorgeous. Then we have Smokey Unix Mustang and the John Gimmel Mustang paired up. So the 2 black Fords together. And then a Ford and Mercury alliance here. This Paul Westberg Cougar is beautiful. It's such an elegant car. And then the George Fulmer Parnelli Jones Orange Mustang. Awesome car there, of course. And then the Donahue pair up here. This was originally Mark Donahue's Penske Javelin, the 71 Trans Am winner that was in this livery. Jocko's Javelin was sold to him afterwards. So we have the Penske Camaro, Mark Donohue Camaro here, and then the original Penske Mark Donohue driven Javelin in the mix. So I think that's a pretty cool team. And at the very last here, we have the number 48 Camaro, which is just a awesome looking car. And this 69 Camaro here, this Carrera, is a oldie. It is very old. It's 20 plus years old. One of my first cars, actually my second car I purchased. So it has been factory original all this time. So nothing's been done to this car. And the tires are terrible. They're pretty hard. Still drivable, but it's going to be loose all over the place. So I'm not even going to take the magnets out of this thing. If I even think you can, I'm not sure. It has one of those sliding magnets where you can kind of change the weight distribution, but it really does absolutely nothing, especially with the tires in its current state. So it's going to be a tall order for this car to produce competitive laps on both attempts, and even a taller order for the number 48 Camaro to kind of pick up the slack. But I do have faith in the car. We'll see where it ends up. And I think it makes a pretty interesting team element, to say the least, with some of these unlikely pairings. And of course, we have 3 different manufacturers in the mix: Scalextric, Pioneer, and Carrera. So without further ado, I'm going to take these cars apart real quick, oil and grease them up. Like I said, none of them are modified. They're brand new in the box. And we're going to get some magless laps and a lap with magnets in and see what points they can accumulate. Let's grab some weights for each car with the magnets in.
Lap 1, 13.83 seconds. Final lap motion number 1. Lap 2, 12.2. Fastest lap motion number 1. Lap 3, 12.76 seconds. Lap 1, 11.32 seconds. Final lap motion number 1. Lap. Fastest lap motion number 1. Lap 3, 9.75 seconds. Lap 1, 11.79 seconds. Final lap motion number 1. Lap 2. Fastest lap motion number 1. Lap 3, 10.12 seconds. Race number. Lap 1, 10.99 seconds. Final lap motion number 1. Fastest lap motion number 1. Lap 3, 9.55 seconds. Lap 1, 11.31 seconds. Final lap motion number 1. Lap 3, 9.21 second. Race summary. Fastest lap. Lap 2, 9.15 seconds. Slowest lap. Lap 1, 11.31 second. Lap 1, 10.68 seconds. Final lap motion number 1. Fastest lap motion number 1. Lap 3, 9.05 seconds. Lap 1, 11.74 seconds. Final lap motion number 1. Lap 2. Fastest lap motion number 1. Lap 3, 9.92 seconds. Lap 1, 10.30 seconds. Final lap motion number 1. Fastest lap motion number 1. Lap 3, 8.78 seconds. Lap 1, 10.08 seconds. Final lap motion number 1. Fastest lap motion number 1. Lap 3, 8.91 second. Lap 1, 10.19 seconds. Final lap motion number 1. Fastest lap motion number 1. Lap 3, 8.91 second. Race summary. Fastest lap. Lap 3, 8.91 second. Slowest lap. Lap 1, 10.19 seconds.
Ladies and gentlemen, the results are in after our first round with magnets. We have our fastest times, and we are starting to award points here. So let's go up to the top of the list. The Camaro Duo, unfortunately, have been awarded 0 points. So the team has 0 points as well. We scroll down the list to the Smokey Unic Mustang and the John Gimbel Mustang, and same story here. Unfortunately, 0 points for the cars and 0 points for the team. The number 89 CUDA and the number 78 Camaro has been awarded points within the team as well. We're up to 6 points. The Penske Camaro and the Jocko Javelin. The Javelin carrying the weight of the team so far. It has been awarded 10 points for itself for the fastest lap time out of all the cars, and 10 points for the team. And last but not least, the George Fulmer Mustang and the number 48 Cougar. They both ran an 8:91 lap time for the fastest lap, but the Mustang ran an 8:91 2 laps in a row back to back. So it has precedence over the 48 Cougar. So we're giving the Mustang 8 points and the Cougar 6 points, and the team has accumulated 14 points. Not too bad. So as you can see, those are the current standings after round 1. So let's take the magnets out of it and get some weights also for the cars without magnets in it, and then we will start our second round. Laps. And of course, the Carrera Camaro is going to be the same because all magnets are still in the car.
Lap 1, 14.11 seconds. Final lap motion number 1. Lap 2, 12.5. Lap 2, 12.5 seconds. Fastest lap motion number 1. Lap 3, 12.36 seconds. Race summary. Fastest lap. Lap 3, 12.36 seconds. Lap 1, 13.98 seconds. Final lap motion number 1. Lap 2, 14.12 seconds. Lap 3, 14.99 seconds. Race summary. Fastest lap. Lap 1, 13.98 seconds.
All right, pretty rough start for the Camaro, though that car was quite an old car. Tires weren't great, so is this one, so we'll see how it goes. Let's try to smooth it out a bit.
Lap 1, 13.71 seconds. Final lap motion number 1. Lap 2, 13.48 seconds. Lap 3, 13.68 seconds. Race summary. Fastest lap. Lap 2, 13.48 seconds. Lap 1, 17.18 seconds. Final lap motion number 1. Lap 2, 14.66 seconds. Fastest lap motion number 1. Lap 3, 14.22 seconds. Lap 1, 13.81 seconds. Final lap motion number 1. Lap 2, 13.282. 15.83 seconds. Race summary. Fastest lap. Lap 2, 13.28 seconds. Slowest lap. Lap 3, 15.83 seconds. Lap 1, 13.90 seconds. Final lap motion number 1. Lap 2, 13.30 seconds. Lap 3, 14.22 seconds. Race summary. Fastest lap. Lap 2, 13.30 seconds. Slowest lap. Lap 3, 14.22 seconds. Lap 1, 13.04 seconds. Final lap motion number 1. Lap 2, 12.4. Lap 3, 13.30 seconds. Race summary. Fastest lap. Lap 2, 12.46 seconds. Slowest lap. Lap 3, 13.30 seconds. Lap 1, 13.75 seconds. Final lap motion number 1. Lap 2, 12.80 seconds. Lap 3, 13.30 seconds. Race summary. Fastest lap. Lap 2, 12.80 seconds. Slowest lap. Lap 1, 13.75 seconds. Lap 1, 13.98 seconds. Final lap motion number 1. Lap 2, 13.6 seconds. Lap 3, 13.75 seconds. Race summary. Fastest lap. Lap 2, 13.67 seconds. Slowest lap. Lap 1, 13.98 seconds. Lap 1, 15.30 seconds. Final lap motion number 1. Lap 2, 13.87 seconds. Lap 3, 14.32 seconds. Race summary. Fastest lap. Lap 2, 13.87 seconds. Slowest lap. Lap 1, 15.30 seconds.
The final results are in, and I have to say, guys, the second round was pretty crazy. There were a few unexpected happenings that caught me by surprise. The first one being that a lot of the cars that underperformed in the first round with magnets in actually outperformed in the second round with no mags, and kind of vice versa. The cars that did really well with magnets in the first round kind of faltered in the second round. So it was kind of a flip-flop of times in most scenarios, not everyone, but it did catch me by surprise. And second of all, the number 64 Carrera Camaro, the vintage Carrera, actually ran the fastest lap time on the second run. And you might be saying, well, yeah, that's because it had magnets in. They were never removed, and that's why there was an asterisk beside the lap time up there, because that is the only car that the magnets weren't removed. But I'm telling you guys, if you were here and you touched the car on the track, there literally was no magnetic draw. I mean, they were doing nothing. So the tires were terrible all around. I was just able to squeeze a little bit better of a time out of it on the second run, probably just because I got a little bit more used to it. But unfortunately, or fortunately, however you look at it, it was able to accumulate points for itself and for the team in the second round. So pretty neat, I guess. You know, it made it a lot more fun to do this event with all the variables at play. So I wasn't quite sure how it was going to pan out the entire time. So let's go through the list. Let's break it down. I'll show you the final standings for each team, and we'll go from there. So as you can see already, the Camaro duo up here was able to accumulate 10 points from that one fastest lap from the Carrera Camaro on the second round. So 10 points total for the team. That puts it in fourth place. The two Mustangs, unfortunately, were not able to accumulate any points, which puts them in fifth place. But they were formidable competitors. They were pretty consistent and just kind of were in the middle the entire time, and just didn't quite have that competitive edge. But nonetheless, they fought hard. Great attempt by the two Mustangs. The 89 Cuda and the number 78 Camaro really blew me out of the water. This team was so consistent and so quick on both runs. I have to say they were probably the most enjoyable cars to run, and I didn't expect that coming into it. I thought the Cuda, I know the tires were quite sticky, but I thought, you know what, I didn't expect that car for whatever reason to perform that great, but for whatever reason, and that motor on that thing just was a rocket. And same thing with the 78 Camaro. That was an old car, much like the number 48 Camaro. I think those both were produced in 2011, so the tires were pretty shoddy on those. And for whatever reason, that Camaro did so well. And again, that engine, that motor in that car really surprised me. They were very, very torquey, very smooth. So that team was able to accumulate 6 points in each round, giving them a total of 12, which puts them in third place. Not bad. And quickly, I'm going to skim down here to the Mustang and the Cougar. And first round, they dominated. They were the team to beat with 14 points total. The second round, unfortunately, though, like I said, it just didn't give way to any points. So they ended up with 14 total, carried over from the first round to put them in second place. And as you probably were already able to peep, who would have guessed? The Donahue pair-up, the Jocko Javelin, the original Donahue Javelin, and the Penske Camaro were able to put points on the board both rounds and were competitive the entire time. And that Javelin was a fantastic car to drive. So that puts them in first place for the team championship, guys. 24 points total, 10 the first round, 14 the second. Congratulations to the Penske Camaro and the Jocko Javelin. With that being said, the Jocko Javelin took the Drivers' Championship with a total of 16 points that it had created for itself. So not a bad way to go out here, guys. The Javelin took the Drivers' Championship and was able to produce the majority of the points for the Team Championship. So that is our Drivers' Champion for this series. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this. I'm sorry if it was quite a long video. I did not expect it to be this intense. But there was a lot of filming, a lot of time involved in this one, a lot of tedious things, just taking the magnets in, putting them back in, etc., just editing all these little clips down. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it and stuck with me this long. If you did, I appreciate you so much. And if you liked the video, smash that like button, please. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. And I will catch you all in the next one. Remember, save the hooliganism for the track. Take care, everybody.
Well, out in South Alabama from a country boy, city looking for a man named Jim. I am a pool shooting boy, my name is Willie McCoy, but down home they call me Slim. Yeah, I'm looking for the king of 42nd Street. He drive on a drop top Cadillac. Last week he took all my money and it may sound funny, but I come to get my money back. And everybody say, Jack, don't you know? Tug on Superman's cape. You don't spit it into the wind. You don't pull the mask off an old Lone Ranger, and you don't mess around with Jim. Ba-doo-doo-da-da.